Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So this morning I made this, which is yesterday's video, where the prompt of lace treasures I've used to make a sampler as if a salesman was heading out in the 1700s, 1800s to sell lace to haberdashery stores. So I've kept it quite a primitive stitch, just tacked things down. I've so far written just the measurements of the width of the lace on these little tags. I've also numbered it. In the video, I had drawn that in my heat soluble pen, and I decided right at the very end to stitch them in a red thread, just as just a little bit of a detail down that side. I love how the paper is in under a few spots. It's got a nice crunchy feel, like I'm really enjoying it. And I've got space here to make some commentary, like I said, if we can work out some of these laces, where they're from or who made them, or even the name of the lace, I might make a few notes, and I can add additional pieces of paper with little scribbles on it as I get some more information come in. So it, as I said, I made the video in the morning, finished stitching it down. It happened pretty quickly, and I said to my husband, I'm going to go and do number 2. I'm just really loving this, and I want to do motifs this time. So I've thought, I'm back in the room. There's a pin. Let's get rid of that. Everything is secure, and I'd film video number 2 for the day. I've also gone ahead and stitched it to my signature base. Remember, we created this panel that will eventually be stitched into the signature, and the mood boards are already on theirs. So I'm sort of building this little pile of signatures that will go into the journal at the end of the project. And I don't know, see, it might be so thick that it goes into 2 journals, who knows? But at the moment, I'm just going to keep creating these signatures, and something will come of it all. So that's that one complete. So I have got my next piece of calico muslin. I went ahead to save a bit of time and used a bit of this old linen that I had out in my video this morning, which was yesterday. And I've just done a tacking stitch to join the 2 surfaces together. And I thought, well, at least that saves, you know, a little bit of time. So we're ready to jump straight in and get on with displaying some of the motifs. Okay, let's just do it. Now, I do want to do something with this lace. Now, I bought this in France, and it's so beautiful. And it is being gobbled up by so many projects. Oh, look at that. Oh, I think someone commented when they saw this that this might have been the Dutch lace. I'll have to go back through that French video. Now, I was thinking I'd be cutting a piece off, but I don't know. I like the big panel of it. I guess too, a salesman would want to be showing what the whole piece looks like. So maybe I'll pull it down a bit. I think I need the whole piece on here, to be honest. Oh gosh, it's just gorgeous. Can I find an angle where I can make it look a little abstract instead of it just being... I'm going to disconnect it there. I'll just take that off. Let's see. Well, that's just used the whole base in one small move. So I'm going to need another base. Oh my goodness me. Best laid plans. I thought, oh, I'll do a second video. Let's get the motifs, because I'm just dying to get in amongst those. And this was sitting on my desk because of this morning's video. I sort of feel like I'm going to take that off there, just for design purposes. Put that in my box of one day may need a little itty bitty bit. It's a little bit small, but it will fit if I scrunch that up a bit. A little bit damaged there, but I don't mind that. I wonder if I turn it around. Then can I have those bits hanging out the top? Or should I remove that? If I removed that, I could probably bring that down a little bit, maybe, no. That's a bit damaged, and I sort of like the idea of seeing the background. I'm going to just take this little bit out and see what that looks like. Oh, now I've used the whole backing. I might have to create another one. That's all right. It shouldn't take me long because I want to work with the motifs. Let's get rid of that. And I can see this beautiful linen. Not that the salespeople would have ever cut the lace like that. They would show it in its glory, but we're a little more artistic, I think. Yeah, I like that. I might leave these bits at the top for now. Whether I trim them, I can definitely trim him. He's out in no man's land. But if I put it into the book like this, those bits would be at the top. But if I put it into the book like that, they're at the bottom and they'll probably get damaged. So I feel that it's going to be displayed like that. So all I'll do is do a little bit of tacking, and that'll hold this piece into position. Let's get my pins in a bit closer. Well, that was easy. So we've got a big panel of lace now. There's some homework. Pepper and Bandit having a good old woof. I think the neighbourhood kids are all next door having a play, so they're all very excited. I can hear quite a few doggies having a woof. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so good. I've got a piece of this because I think I've already used it like 6 or 7 times. And I know there's a few meters there, but it's so delicate, but it is a treasure, a real treasure. Okay, and some little bits for a rainy day. Okay, there's my next page. Now, let's give it a number because we are doing this whole catalogue thing. Here's a little piece we can rough up. Let's make it, where's my pen gone? This will be number 7. Nope, not that pen. That pen. Number 7. And maybe on the tag, will I write it? No, let's write a piece of paper. Let's do, here's a piece. Gee, these men putting this lace panel together, they're really not putting a lot of effort into general display, are they? They're just whacking it together. When I was stitching the red numbers, I was giggling to myself thinking some wife of these boys has turned up and taken one look at it and gone, lads, come on, let's make it a little pretty. And the best she could get was she went to the cupboard and got a single strand of red cotton and she stitched the numbers. I sort of felt like that was a bit of a feminine touch. I was sitting there giggling away to myself, imagining back in time. Oh, gosh, I wish they'd hurry up and invent time travel. I need to go back and suss things out. So on this, I might write, what will we write? Maybe I need something hard to write on. Don't have anything hard to write on. That might help. What about panel available by the yard? Just a maker's note. Yeah, I know you guys can't see it because it's pencil, but I'm sort of trying to keep it quite authentic to the time. So, yeah. I know when I was in France in the flea market, so much of the lace had little pencil. I know why, because they wouldn't have had borrow pens, like ink pens. There would have been a quill and ink, probably. Pencil? I don't know. I need to go back and have a look at history. So let's maybe just stitch that note there. I won't stitch it. I'll just... Do I want to write that? I want to rewrite it. Do I want to... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to take a bit of the intensity of the pencil back a bit. I think this looks a little bit too... Yeah, that's better. It just looked a little bit too new. That's better. All right, so let's get our needle and thread. Let's stitch that and that down. Do I have... Let's finish your sentences, girl. There it is. I think my red thread is nearby too. So I might just do that number 7 because that's pretty easy. But first, I'm just going to do this and stitch it on before it gets lost. I really like those little bits of fabric that I added. Remember this morning as I pulled the lace out to attach it to the panel, these 2 random, well, this morning for me, yesterday for you. Remember these 2 little pieces? I really like how that just adds a bit of, you know, artistic license. Probably would never have been on the panel. So I might grab my French fabric and see if I can work into this just a little pop of something. Those women have called in at the factory again and put their little feminine touch on this sampler. Well, that's my story. Okay. All right, so there's the little note to say that the panel available by the yard. So that's what I've written on that. Not that the salesman can read it anyway. I think we were discussing, well, I was surmising that the salesman probably doesn't even know how to read or write, but numbers would be probably easy enough for him to at least take an order. Don't know. I know education was pretty thin on the ground back then, especially for the girls. Okay, so that's secure. I'm just going to jump across to the other side of the table and grab my thread. This is it. So I just used a bit of a burgundy stranded cotton. And just did a couple little stitches to denote that that number is there. So pretty simple. I really love this linen. I think I might have to get another piece. And maybe the other side, as you open the signature, will be 2 pieces of it. Because I think the motifs that I've got, they're very pale. So I think they'll look beautiful on a that colour tone. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly stitch a number 7, and then I'll iron it when I'm done. This is our cataloguing, purely artistic, but you never know. If someone says, yes, that was me who told you, I'll have to go back through that video, that this was a Dutch lace. And I'm sure someone told me the name of the lace. Gee, I've got a shocking memory. Too much to remember. Okay, the other numbers I just stitched straight through all the layers because I'd already tacked them down. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so back to needle and thread. This is actually coming together quite quickly, this little project, even though I'm doing 4 pages. It's actually quite a simple construction. You could literally have a lace journal in your room, and whenever you acquire a beautiful piece of lace, take a little piece of it, add it to your journal, and then over the years you'll get yourself quite a gorgeous document of all the laces that have gone through your hands. Like, that'd just be so beautiful. I'm so going to make a lace journal just for that very reason, before they get chopped up and used. Like, I know where they are in this place. I can look at a panel and go, oh, I know where you came from. But wouldn't it be lovely just to have a spot where a little bit of all of the laces. Oh, we're going to do that. We have to do that. Oh, I've got so many projects in my head. It's ridiculous, as you may have already noticed. Doesn't stop. All right. I might leave that thread because my homework will be to work through and just catch it all down and make sure it's nice and secure. Well, that was quick. That was easy. So our signature will open and that will go there. Beautiful. Okay, well, we still didn't achieve any motifs, so let's have another go. Let's see how we going for time. 20 minutes, girl. Goodness sakes. Yep, I'm going to do the same fabric again, which I just put away. Here it is. Let's move out. So we need to cut ourselves another piece. Let's close that up for later. Okay. Let's get ourselves a nice piece. Just have a little bit of overlap so that, you know, we don't want to be stingy. Where's my dressmaking scissors? There they are. We went out during the day to visit a friend's house that they're getting built. They've had such a drama with it, but they're so close to, you know, the final clean and the builder doing a carpet clean, you know, the final touch-ups, and they'll be in, but they still haven't got that magic date of when they can move in. But the landscaper has done the turf, the driveway, the fence, you know, so there's a lot of works happened in the last week. And they mentioned that they were heading around there to water that lawn that the landscaper put down yesterday. I think it went down. So we said, we'll come around and have a quick look, because we haven't seen the property for a couple months. So we arranged to meet them there, and I filmed the video that you watched yesterday. And then while I was waiting for my husband to get himself ready to walk out the door, I finished stitching down those pieces on that, and it took 10 minutes, like, because there's no invisible stitch as such. I better put a pin in this. Concentrate on what I'm doing for a second. Let's flip that. Needs an iron, but it'll be covered in lace, so I'll give it a touch up in a minute. Yeah, because while hubby was having his shower and getting ready, because he was literally asleep, I finished filming. I got a message to say, you know, what are you guys up to? We're heading over to the house to water this new lawn. And I was like, oh, we could go too. So I flew into the bedroom. My husband was sound asleep. I shook him and said, get up, get up. You got half an hour. You need to be in the shower and ready to go. We're going to meet our mates at their house and have a look at it and say good day. He's like, oh. He's used to it. He knows these things happen. There's always a plan afoot with me. So while he was doing that, I finished stitching that first sample page. So we've now got back. I did a little bit of grocery shopping. Those friends are coming over for dinner, so we pulled in and picked up some bread. We're going to have a bit of a barbie, and got the steak out defrosting, some sausages. So yeah, they're coming over for dinner. So I sat down and sort of finished the last few little details. I think, yeah, I then did this red work through it. Anyway, where am I heading with this story? I'm trying to fill time while you watch me do this boring stitching. I said to my husband, I'm going to go and film again, because that just came together so quickly. I'm going to go and film the second video on the lace prompt for the sampler, lace sampler. And I was wanting to play with these motifs, and I thought, to save time, I'll prep the page. And now that big piece of lace has taken the whole page, and I've back to where I was. It's all good. So this calico, if you're wondering why I still do it, it really stabilizes my work. So I can just use it as like a background. You could use an interfacing if you wanted, but I really like the calico. I like the feel of it in my hand. It's very economical. I buy it on sale whenever it comes up at Spotlight on sale, and I'll buy a 10 meter bolt of it. I've used meters and meters of it. So I really like the way it performs. And like I said, I think the UK, America, you guys call it muslin, I think. I believe it's the same product. It's cotton, unbleached. Very economical way of doing our little sewing projects. All right, we're back to where we were a few minutes ago, give or take 24 minutes. Goodness me. So I've just given that a quick tack down, so the two are one. At least I know it's not flopping around, and I don't have pins in my way. Okay, let's have a look at lace motifs. Now we're going to dip into the goodies from Olna. Now, we have to find a home for that. that one, that one, that one, that one. I don't know if I'll use them all because I really do want to do a tribute to this lady. I think they're all... There's a few little ones in there. Might pull that out. You never know. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Oh. All right. Sorry if the paper annoys you. Oh, you beautiful thing. So how is it attached? A little bit of tape. Oh, that's easy. Oh. Aren't you gorgeous? Smells nice too. I'd be too scared to launder it. You'd have to be so careful. Well, there's a bit of a feature there. I don't know if I want to use those. They just seem... I don't know. Oh, too many choices. Let's just have a look at these. That lace there is stunning. Oh, sorry. Someone commented that they don't like the sound of the wrapper. So I'm trying a little bit harder to maybe unwrap under the table so that you don't. Look at that. Oh, you beautiful thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I don't know. Do I use it on the next one or this one? How gorgeous are you? I don't want to cut it. I probably could. Then I could put it a bit in this one and a bit in the next journal. Maybe I do. Oh, if that was cut, say there, just a little bit of it. See, I could cut that too, but I like the fact that I can see that it was connected when they've made it. So the next one and the next one. I love you too. I love you. Look how fine that is. Let's see if I can get this little guy out. It's unusual. It's a bit puckery, as if the tension around the lace is a bit out. That outer ring is a little bit tight. See how it's not sitting right? That's interesting. It'd be good if it was on a cone shape, but that won't sit real well stitched down. So I don't know what the story is with that. Whether that's a fault or I don't know. Oh, you beautiful thing. I think I need to add this lace, and I think I'm going to cut it there, and then I've got a nice piece left for just do it, done. Stop being precious. That's a nice piece for a future project. Maybe I turn it around. I like that. So if I separate that, will I ever remember that that is the way it was manufactured? I feel like that needs to stay together. I don't think I can separate that. Let's have a look at this little guy. See, there's two here that have potential. Maybe we just do, we've got our big feature pieces. Maybe we just pop a few little morsels in now. Like if we took 3 of those. Oh, it's so beautiful. and then maybe 2 of those or 3 of those. Yeah, that's what we'll do, guys. I like that. So we'll cut that there. We'll cut that there. And we'll put that one there and that one there. Yep. That looks like a sampler, if I do say so myself. And we've got some little pieces here that can be used in the lace journal. We might leave it at that, I think. Thank you, Olna, for your beautiful selection of laces. That came out of that one. All right, so let's pin this down so it doesn't wriggle. So when our friends get here tonight, we'll have dinner and then we'll come into the room here and we girls will sit, chat and stitch. And this will give me something I can stitch down that doesn't require too much thought, because often I'm, you know, who wants a coffee, who wants some cake? I might turn that around. So I'm jumping up and down, and you know, it's like when you host for dinner. There's always jobs to do. Okay, let's pin this little guy. So now our numbering system, our red work numbering system, maybe when I stitch that little guy down, it'll pull it out a little bit. It doesn't seem to want to sit. I might just let it do its thing. I don't want to force it because it's so delicate. Okay, so we need some, to follow our theme, we need some paper. Where's our paper? There it is there. Maybe we can slide a piece in under here. That could have a couple notes written on it. So this side could refer to him. This side could refer to him. Does that sound like a logical plan? I like that. Maybe just to balance it, might add that little piece up there. Okay, now we were putting numbers on, so where's my bits of calico? You just never know when you're going to use your scrappy bits. So what do we get up to? We've done 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them we need. Here's another little strip. So there's 5. 7, so we need number 8, little guy. 8, 9, number 8, number 9. Gosh, if I owned a haberdashery store and I knew the lace man was coming, do you know how excited I'd be? New stock, see what's the latest trends. number 10, number 11, number 12. You know what we haven't done to the first panel that I just did is add some fabric. So let's just pin them for a second or two. Just adds a little extra interest to your panel if you've got a few other elements in there. Make it look like it's something from the old days, which it clearly isn't. And I'm sure a historian would be looking at this going, that girl's got no idea. Oh, scrappy bit. Stay focused. Let's get... So I've got one more panel left, which will be on the back of the signature. So let's just open this up very carefully, because I've got pins everywhere. Okay, so there's that one. There's that one. Now what I want to do is add a few little bits of fabric. So I shall jump up and grab my French fabrics. And it'd have to be something, see if I do those red numbers, to have a little bit of red fabric. Oh, I could do some laundry labels. I guess, let's say the factory down the road sells laundry labels. So the shopkeep spots the laundry labels and says, oh, I could do with some of them. And if a salesman is a good salesman, he'll say, no worries, mate, I can get you laundry labels. Where's my initials? We need, oh gosh, now we're going down a whole laundry label. Let's get me in there, hey? Gosh, I wish I had a heap of the numbers. We could have had the numbers as laundry labels. I should put them in there so then they're all together, hey? That would have been pretty swanky. Okay. Are there numbers in there? I think there used to be. Yes. Look, we got a 46. That's the first one I saw. That will be the one we want. Sort of does interfere with the whole numbering system I have going on here, but anyway. It could mean batch. I feel like it needs to go up here. Batch number 46. Who knows? So that can go there. Put them away before I get out of control with the laundry labels. Let's see if we find some fabric that may be able to sneak in. Or just a little bit. We don't need a lot. Oh, there are all those fabrics I bought from Susanna, from her picking through the markets at France. Oh gosh, they're gorgeous. I haven't used any of them yet. I'm squirreling them. No. Let's just dig in deep. Let's see. There might be something. I'm sure there was some little bits left from the project that we did making that bag. I wouldn't have thrown them. We're just looking for little squares that might flop out at me. Even a bit of this. Oh, there has to be a morsel here somewhere. Maybe I haven't got a little piece. Well, that's all right. We can soon create a little piece. Maybe I'll bring a little bit of green in. Where can we nibble off a little? Let's just do it. Let's rough her up a bit. Just a little pop of something, like just because those little flowers. Maybe the wife has been back to visit the boys at the factory and said, oh, come on, lads, your sample is a bit boring. Let's add some nice treasures. Maybe I could, just looking at this, I'm thinking I'm going to take that whole piece up. Oh, it's so beautiful. Let's just capture that. Aren't you gorgeous? Feels like it was an old piece of upholstery. It's got that feel about it. So we've got a bit of a goldy, greeny, reddy, themey thing happening here. And maybe might just add it to the bottom there, just because. I could pop it into there, but it's sort of, I like that little breath of air there, like I think it's going to go there, and I'll just stitch it down. I'll use that tacking stitch idea. Got a little pop of red there. Yeah. It fits okay on the page. All right, there's our composition. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's tidy up the mess. Let's get all me English speaking very good there. Let's get all my treasures back into the French pot. Okay, now I think what we'll do is we'll lift them off because I need to stitch them. That's attached, so that's ready to go. We've got a panel of lace. What will we do on the last one? That thread's there ready. I don't think I'll do any work on that. We might focus on this one because I think I'm going to stitch down those random little bits. We've only got a little bit of time left, so at least get some of these loose elements stitched down, and then off camera I can do the rest. I'm going to do this piece of paper here. Oh, if only Grandma was around so I could show her what I just did with her pattern paper. She would just shake her head, think, my goodness, girl. Go through the lace motif to hold it. Isn't it just beautiful? Oh my goodness. Talk about a treasure. Oh, imagine if the girls give us a prompt that is jewellery. Oh, I might be able to find a home for some treasured jewellery pieces in my journal. Wouldn't that be a bit nice? Some of the old brooches and hat pins they used to use to keep their hats on their heads. Them were the days. Whoop. Come back to you next. I really like the feel of this paper within my stitching. Feels really nice. Okay, hope that afternoon sun's not annoying you. Seems to be still, it's about to drop to the window edge where I think it then would become problematic for you guys. It'd be quite bright. You can already see there's a shard of light coming through there. So when that sun drops, probably another inch, it's going to come blaring in, but we should be done by then. So hang in there, guys. Okay, let's get this little guy into position. And I'll have to come up with something to write. That could be motifs. Don't know, what could I write? To think of something. Cream, motif laces by the yard. I guess we could call a medallion. I don't know if that's the right words, but let's just stitch that. And I'll have to have a think about the final page. I know I've got 2 laces here that I earmarked in this morning's video, this one and this one. So maybe I'll do a similar thing as the first page. Oh, come on. My knot just was not big enough to do the job. Let's turn it around so I'm not reaching. Now I've punctured the paper, so I'm going to have to very carefully find those holes. Otherwise, that's good. Let's lift you up. Pins are always in my way. If they're not in my way, they're jabbing me. They're not jabbing me, they're in my way. Okay, let's just get a little stitch in there for that motif, and then I love this tacking of it down. It just feels very authentic, actually. Might lift that up. No, I want it under, I think. Yep, that's good. Home stretch now. Sun's starting to creep in now. So that's the paper secure. So now I can flip that around a little bit. What I might do is go down and secure that piece of fabric, and I'll also catch that number 11 as well. I ended up just doing, oh goodness me, just doing a stitch at the top and the bottom of the little numbers. I just sort of felt it looked nicer than doing a complete around the whole thing. It sort of felt like a little bit more whimsical. That makes sense. Let's get rid of that pin. And not so stitched down. Remembering there's probably boys that put this together, so it would have been the bare basics. But then again, maybe the wires were very much part of the business and they were putting the samplers together. Possibly. Who knows? I was just trying to paint the picture for my own mind of how this might have happened and making it a simpler process than such a, you know, seed stitch it or invisible stitch it all down. I was just trying to keep it a little bit more simple. Does that make sense? I know there's a video that Rachel showed probably 18 months ago where she found some really old journals at a market and she was unsure if they were authentic or not, like created to look like something old or they were actually old, and they're the most beautiful things. And the stitching of lace into it is very simple. They haven't fussied it, and that sort of was in the back of my mind when I saw that journal, that was just probably more in keeping with how they would have done it. There we go. So I've put a few extra stitches in that piece of fabric. So now we've got a little treasure of fabric there as well, which is great. Okay, still got time? Of course we've got time. I'll just keep working on the numbers. Actually, no, I'm going to flip over to the other panel because those numbers are just a stitch here and a stitch there, and then I can continue around the lace. What I will do is let's just move him out of the way and let's work on this guy. So maybe down the road from the motif factory is an upholstery factory. And maybe this company is nearly, I guess, an agency for a heap of factories. There you go. Now the story's getting interesting, isn't it? I know that's the same in our industry. Often there'll be 3 or 4 wholesalers that will employ an agency to come around and knock on our door with a book of products to do with Christmas, being that, you know, I'm in the Christmas industry. But they also sell candles and ceramics, and so they could drop in on a news agency and show the owner of that business random vases and napkins and, you know, so they're like a travelling salesman representing quite a few wholesalers. So that then saves the wholesalers. That went through, yeah, that saves the wholesalers having salesmen out on the road. They hire a company, and I presume that company takes a percentage of whatever their staff sell. So if I owned a wholesale, a agency that did that back in the 1700s, this is me talking now, I would create my lace sample cards like this, and I would definitely drift in, let's say I represented an upholstery fabric company and the label. Gee, what an opportunity to add on sales, especially if the store you went to didn't know that we did this and this. Why wouldn't you just sprinkle a little bit of, is there a pin under there? Look at that. I've just covered a pin. Oh, for goodness sakes. It's all good. Luckily, it's not seed stitched. Luckily, we can easily access the back there. Where are you, my friend? Oh, my goodness me. What a goose. We'll get him. Maybe. Well, let's establish which is the sharp end. There's, it would have to be an applique pen or an applique pin or an applique pin, wouldn't it? Wouldn't have to be a big. All right, we're going to finish the video with Corrine trying to pull out. Got him. Look at that. Of all the pins that I lose, it's one of these little, I nearly said a swear word, little pins. I might, we've got 5 minutes. Let's stitch down the number because we represent laundry tags as well, don't we? Let's just pop him in there. This is batch number 46. Gosh, I can't even speak what I'm looking at. And then I might just use that thread and just catch the lace down that vertical side of the panel. And that'll use it up, plus secure that edge. See what I mean by it just comes together quite quickly? Okay. Probably get a little bit more of a stitch in down here. Let's finish that stitch off. Let's get some more thread. How are we going for time? 3 minutes. Can stitch a lot in 3 minutes. Did anyone catch Susanna's video on Saturday where she alluded to the dates of her retreat, March next year? And she's made a booking at the venue, which is very exciting. I've had a sneak peek at the project that she's thinking of doing. It's very exciting. I got all excited. I was like, oh, I could see exactly what I'm going to do with that. So can't wait to get my hands on that. I'm definitely going. I'm going to organise my flights. I've been talking to a few Queensland girls that I know that are also considering forming a bit of a gang to come down. So it's still all waiting on the exact details, of course, before we go and make any bookings and things like that. But I believe Susanna will make a formal announcement about the retreat in the coming weeks. So I won't say the dates yet because I want to make sure that I'm right, just in case something changes. She does mention them in her video. Vintage Blend Studios. The retreat will be in Ballarat. And I believe the date's the 11th of March. But let's wait for the final video, you know, announcing it, just in case. You know what venues can be like. Sometimes they'll ring. That happened to one of her other retreats. The venue decided that they didn't want to give her those dates. She was so disappointed. She was in a scramble to try and find, you know, another spot. That thread just pulled through there. I'm going to have to restitch that. That's come adrift. Yeah, so I'll wait for Susanna to make the final video announcement. Because at the end of the day, you know, anything can change, hey? So any Victorian ladies out there, keep your eyes and ears peeled. If you're not following Susanna's channel, don't fret because I'll definitely be talking about it because I'm definitely going. I can't help myself when there's a retreat. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. But Susanna's channel is Vintage Blend Studio. So it should be a lot of fun. It's got all sorts of fun things. There's a bit of shopping too. Because we're in a very old historical town in Australia, there's some fantastic little towns nearby that have antique places and fantastic shops. I think Balan is a place she mentioned. So she's looking at doing stitching as well as shopping. So it's going to be a ball. Could you imagine? She's got 30 seats, which already I've seen emails, like comments made on her video saying, you know, can I send you a message? So I think it will fill up fast. Okay, I pulled that thread out. See, look at the sun. Goodness, I had a feeling it was coming in on me. I just want to stitch this bit and I'll leave you go. We've passed the hour. Goodness sake, Corrine. Okay. Alrighty, that is all of the little additions stitched on. All I've got to do is just secure that lace, and then this one I've just got to finish a few extra little bits plus secure the lace. So that'll come together pretty easily. So there you go. Look at the sun now. Isn't it amazing? It was just at the top. What, in 5 minutes it's dropped down enough below the tree line that it's coming shining in. That has to be, call it a day, girl. All right, guys, look after yourselves, and I will see you in the next video where we complete the final page. Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys, look after yourselves. Bye.